cake. It's not a particularly good one.
Yeah, literally.
Hey guys, good morning and happy Vlogmas Day 15. Is that what it is? Yeah. Happy Vlogmas Day 15. I can't remember the last thing I vlogged. I don't think I vlogged like any of my night last night because we started getting ready and then people came over and we were just making drinks and I did my hair. Unfortunately it rained so it all straightened out, but yeah, we went out, we had a lovely night. I went to bed at like 3 a.m. because we ordered Taco Bell when we were leaving the club. We ordered it at like, before we left, we ordered at 1 a.m. We got home around 2. 2:30 rolls around, the Taco Bell still has not arrived. And then they of course canceled our order last minute. We reordered pizza and that came really quickly. The guy delivering it dropped one of our pizzas on the ground and it was of course raining. So, great, but now I of course over-ordered food anyway, so we had plenty. But yeah, I ate like a couple pieces of pizza and then I passed out. It was a lovely night. I have just been laying in bed for a bit. And once again, I woke up at like 8 and then I fell back asleep to like 10. So now it's like a little past 11. So I need to get started editing the last 2 days vlogs. So I'll probably do that. We might get brunch today. I don't know if people are awake though. So we shall see. But either way, this is definitely going to be, a slow Sunday because that's what I need at the moment. I, knock on wood, am not feeling too poorly, so hopefully that pizza really helped me last night. But yeah, that's my little update. I will talk to you guys in a bit. Little bit later. It honestly took me a while to edit and upload the vlog, and then Nye woke up at 11:40 and we did a Sunday reset. As I said, she wakes up on like X Games mode, but it was needed. The apartment looks lovely now. I feel at peace because my room is clean, the apartment's clean. I really have nothing to do, so I've just been sitting here reading some finale, and so that's been really nice. Yeah, like, I mean, it's already kind of action-packed, a lot's happening. I'm really liking, honestly, Donatella's POV. I might like more than Scarlet, at least at the moment, like, a lot more is happening with her, so it's super interesting. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, I honestly don't really have much else planned for the day. I'm just gonna read a little more, and I'll update you guys later. Appears that I haven't left my room all day, but I have in fact ventured out into the living room and kitchen. It's really brave of me. Since the last time we spoke, I read more of Finale. I'm like close to getting halfway through with it, so I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I made myself some pasta for dinner, and then I started Cruel Intentions, which is on Prime, and I'm really enjoying it. I liked the movie, and this is like a fun interpretation of that kind of, and it's like all about this college and the Greek system there. So, and it's funny because me and I watch a lot of have been watching Greek, so this is like a very serious version of that, I feel like. But yeah, then I got back and we watched some Sex in the City. So yeah, that was my night. I'm gonna read some more and go to bed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, good morning and happy Vlogmas Day 16. I am just at my desk getting my day started because it's unfortunately a Monday now. But Gina went to Costco and restocked her protein milk, so my protein coffee's back. Delish. I don't think I really have anything to update since I went to bed and woke up again, but I don't have much on the docket for the day. I'm gonna try to make yoga at noon today, so that should be nice. I did eat a lot of shit yesterday, so hoping that this will help my body feel cleansed. Nye's brother's coming in town tonight, so we'll have a new visitor, and then yeah, I think that is all. I will talk to you guys later. Hey besties, I am about to head to Core Power Yoga. Very excited. This is like a very chill midday class, so that was what I was in the mood for today. But yeah, it's like weirdly warm outside. Like I think it's up to the 50s, which is so weird because the last time I was in this car you could see my breath. So not even coat weather anymore. The world is dying. Okay, that's really all I had to say. I will talk to you guys when I'm out. Hey besties, I am back from yoga. That was so lovely. I just love having like a midday workout class to break up my day and, you know, just give me something to live for. So that was very enjoyable. She's just so chill and relaxing, which I appreciate because some of them are like, and it's so hard that I'm sweating so much, but I don't, not till the end am I like, oh, that was nice, I feel better. But like throughout, I'm like, oh, this is nice. I felt like we really worked in stretching and flexibility, which I appreciated. I am just gonna shower now. I need to wash my hair. It's so weird when my hair is straight. Like, I'm like, who is she? Also, this ponytail, my hair is getting so long. I never notice until it's straight, and then I'm like, damn. But yeah, I feel like she's growing faster too now that she's not blonde, but maybe I could be making that up. But yeah, I'm gonna shower and make myself some lunch and then get back to work. Hey guys, so this has been like a fairly short vlog, and honestly, I haven't really done that much throughout. We've had a chill couple of days, so I thought this would be a good time to talk about my favorite books of the year. The other day I went through and wrote down all of the books I've read this year. I think I've read like around 106 so far, and I'll probably read like a couple more, but as for my favorite books so far this year, I made a list of my top 20, and so I figured I'd talk through them a little bit, but honestly, I have a really bad memory, so it's hard for me to remember why I like the books that I read, but these are definitely the ones where I like thought about it after, and I didn't just like put down the book and immediately read something else. Like they kind of stuck with me for a little while, and I can still remember a decent portion of them. But honestly, I was like looking back, I'm like, I read that this year, like that feels like years ago. The shit I read in January, I'm like, that's insane. But okay, I'm gonna go in opposite order. So I'm gonna start, I ranked them. So I'm gonna start with number 20 and then go up to number 1. I don't understand it. Like, also, depending on my mood, the ranking of these could change. Like, I might disagree with what I put down last week, next week. So just know this is based purely off of vibes and honestly like my enjoyment factor throughout these books. And it's also hard, I feel like, when you're doing different genres, because I'm like, well, like how I rank fantasy is different than how I rank romance, and like I don't think they're the same quality, some of them, but again, we're going off of enjoyment level. And my favorite books of the year. That was a long, like, winded way of explaining why these are my favorite. But okay, So number 20 is gonna be Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I really enjoyed this. It was like an unexpected win because honestly, all of her books that she'd come out with so far were romance, but this was like her like switch into fantasy, and I thought she did a really good job. I thought she brought in a lot of people to this like unknown trope. Honestly, if you didn't read fan fiction, you wouldn't really understand the intricacies of the mating bonds and all of that stuff, but I thought she did it in a way where it was like super accessible to everyone, and like everyone found something they enjoyed about the book. So I was very impressed by it, and I did kind of read like fan fiction, but as a fan fiction lover, I thought it was really fun. Next was Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I read this like fairly recently, and again, it was like an unexpected, like I was obsessed with it because I read the first one in the series. It was okay, but this one, it was just like all the tropes I loved. Single dad, sister's best friend who they have like, they hate each other, they've hated each other their entire lives. She helps him out with his kid, and I love the way Elsie Silver writes the kids in the books. Like they're just such cute characters. I love the way they like fell in love and their interactions and how they like started to understand each other. So I very much enjoyed that one. Next, This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Again, I really enjoyed her first book. The second book was not a hit for me. This was just so fun. Again, this one is best friend's brother, and so it did one of my favorite things, which is it goes through all of the years of them knowing each other and kind of like the slow burn of them into like eventually getting together, even though they've liked each other for so many years. So I just thought it was fun. I thought the setting was so fun. It's in like a beach town in Canada. Yeah, and I read this over the summer, and I still like remember it and think about it, and I think it was a very, very good book. Next, we have Throne of the Fallen. This is by Carrie, I'm gonna butcher the last name, so I won't say it. Throne of the Fallen. I read this book thinking it was a standalone, and then realized that it was interconnected with this world that I really enjoy. Like, I just think it's super fun, very good romantic-y vibes. I enjoyed coming back to the world of the original trilogy, and this just like, it was definitely like part of a big fantasy kick for me, so I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to read it this year. Next is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. As you can tell, I'm a stan. But this is a YA romance, and again, I read like primarily adult romance, and so I just thought she did it in such a cute way. It was almost not YA, you know, like definitely wasn't like Lynn Painter's level of YA, but I love the romance. I love the theme of chess. It made me want to go back and watch Queen's Gambit. The two main characters are really cute. I love that they're like they're both the best at like their craft, and they kind of have like a competition but also help each other, so I thought that was fun. Next is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. I'm an Elle Kennedy stan. I talk about this all the time. Yeah, and I really enjoyed her original Briar U and Off Campus series, but the new one I wasn't feeling as connected with until this book, and I just felt like, yeah, this book was really fun. It's neighbors. She's a cheerleader. He's on the hockey team. He slept with like all of her friends, and she like very much did not want anything to do with him, but they like slowly become friends and like allies, and then they fall in love through that. And I just like, I love that trope so much. Like the enemies, but you're not actually really enemies, and then you slowly begrudgingly become friends, and then you fall in love. Like, that's really cute. So I really enjoyed it. Great smut. Yeah, I'm excited for this series to continue. Next, we have Five Survive by Holly Jackson. I love Holly Jackson. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I didn't put that on the list because I've read it before, but Five Survive I thought was really interesting, and it did take me a bit to get into, but as soon as it started, it all takes place over the course of a day, which I feel like is really hard to do, because how do you stay entertained about like, it's literally like, it goes like hour by hour. But she did it in a way where she was like bringing in the backstories of these 6 different characters, and it was just like such high stakes, and it was like scary, but also like, it was just so cool. So I just really enjoyed that. And I just think she is a great author. Next, we have Divine Rivals. I think I read this back in like February or March. I like finished this, and then I immediately bought the next book because I'm like, that was just so fun. It was one of those books that you just get immersed into the world, and I love that in a book. I love like forgetting what I'm doing and like feeling the need to finish something immediately. Like that is what I'm always looking for. Or it's what I'm usually looking for in what I read. Like sometimes I want like a, you know, whatever book that I'm just reading past time, but most of the time I want to, like, I love like being able to imagine everything and like have a clear vision in my head. So I just think this was so like beautifully written. I love the two main characters. It's another like enemies to lovers. It's during like wartime. They have magical typewriters that they write to each other. It's just so cool and it's so inventive, and yeah, I very much enjoyed it. It's a very good YA fantasy if you're looking for one. Next is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. Again, I forgot I read that at the beginning of this year. I think I got it for Christmas last year. I think my mom got it for me. But Julie Soto already dropped a new book in the year, which is also on the list, spoiler alert. But yeah, this was just like, again, it was her first book. I wasn't really expecting anything, but it was so amazing. It's a florist and a wedding planner, and they are exes. And so it kind of like, you learn what happened with them in the past, and then it's like their current story too, and they're working on a wedding together, and it is just, oh, it's so good. I really enjoy, he's like very like grumpy, but he's the one who wants more out of the relationship, which I always love. I like when it's the girl that has to be convinced, because as you should. So yeah, I just thought it was really fun, also really good smut, and yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm sorry if this is not very descriptive, but I also don't want this to be like 30 minutes long. And I feel like I've talked about all of these books before, so I don't want to harp on them too much. Okay, next we have Play Along by Liz Tom Ford. I love this so much. Like, I literally finished this book, and it was one of those ones where I'm like, I needed to make sure everyone I know reads this book, because I know they'll enjoy it. And I did get Bestie Olivia to read it, and she did enjoy it too. But yeah, the main girl, and this just also had the build up of like the past romance, which I really liked. So his brother was the book before, and he has just always been obsessed with the like physical trainer since like, yeah, since both of them are introduced. And so like the book starts with them like getting really drunk and getting married, and so it's like forced marriage, proximity, like type vibes, but he is just so in love with her, and it's him like trying to convince her to love him back. And it is just so cute, and they just like understand each other in a way that no one else does, and I love the way they support each other. I love how much she supports her, and it's just so cute and so good, and I want the best for both of them. Like, they both like deserve so much better, and I love that they found love with each other. So that was definitely, I think it might be my favorite in the series, and definitely one of my favorites of the year. So yeah, that was 20 through 11. Now we're getting to top 10. Okay. Number 10 is Heartless by Elsie Silver. This was my year to get into Elsie Silver, and I'm really glad I did. This was like the OG of Wild Eyes, I feel like. Like, Wild Eyes was like a new version of this, but this is always what people say when you get into the series, like the book that you have to read, and it did not disappoint at all. Again, it's single dad, super grumpy, and then I think it is also sister's best friend. So yeah, she comes and she nannies for him. And again, it's just such a cute relationship between her and the kid, and then the two of them like finally like starting to understand each other after having known each other their whole lives. It's just so cute. I really enjoyed it. So definitely had to put that on the top 10, because it also is what like really got me into Elsie Silver. Okay, next, I read this pretty recently. It's One for My Enemy by Olive E. Blake, and this is what got me into Olive E. Blake. This is like a Romeo and Juliet retelling in New York with witches, except you don't know which couple is Romeo and Juliet. It follows like two warring families, and one of them has like, I think it's like 8 daughters, and the other one has 3 sons. And so it's like kind of how the ways the families are connected, and it switches through POVs pretty quickly. So it's like just, it's so entertaining. Like, I wanted to keep reading. I finished this so quickly. It's just such a fun world, and I want more, you know? I want to learn more about the characters. Yeah, so very good standalone fantasy book if you're looking for one. Next is Not Another Love Song. This is the other Julie Soto book that was on my list. I read this over the summer, and again, I think I literally like finished this in a day. Like, I started this at the beach, and usually when I'm reading on the beach, like, I'll read a chapter, I'll fall asleep, I'll get in the water. No, I like did not move for hours, because I was like, this is so good. It was exactly what I wanted. It's 2 musicians. They're like celloists / do they also play the violin? I think. I'm trying to remember. no, obviously not the most important part of the book, but so she's always looked up to him, and he is like very grumpy. He doesn't really give anyone the time of day, but he's like super interested in her and like her talent and like helping her out. But he like is so like off-putting that she like starts to dislike him more and more. But it's just so good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely had to be on the top 10. That's 8. And then number 7 is Once Upon a Broken Heart. This was so cute. This is why I'm reading Caraval currently, even though I think that's not the right reading order. But I just loved this. I loved the like fairy tale-esque fantasy. I love the world they built. I love the romance between the two characters. It's a trilogy, so I feel like the way that they kind of had the romance progress was really good, in that you're still entertained throughout the series rather than it happens too quickly and then you're like, I'm bored now. So yeah, I just love this series. But I put the first book because the first book is what really got me interested and kept me going. So that would definitely recommend that. Next is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry, but I think this might be my favorite book by her. It's so perfect. Like, I have no notes, honestly. Forced roommates because both of their fiancés decide to get engaged to each other and dump them. So it's like, it could be a fairly depressing book because it's like both of them have just been dumped and their life has been totally upended and they're like kind of depressed. But instead it's like really cute because they find such comfort in a friendship that they share, and so it's the two of them becoming friends and kind of working through their issues together. And I just loved it. I loved both of them. I love Miles. He's like my dream man. Yeah, and it was just really cute and I enjoyed like every second of it. So highly recommend. Next was The Ministry of Time. Again, another unexpected favorite. Like, I know I think it was like one of the top books on Goodreads this year, but again, I was like, just because other people don't like it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like it. And I honestly don't read too much like sci-fi. I'm more like straight fantasy, and this was definitely like time travel type thing. And I knew it had like a light romance, but I obviously like a strong romance theme throughout my books. But I loved this. I loved the time travel aspect. I thought it was so interesting. It's about this girl who has someone from, I think like the 1700s come stay with her and should be his bridge into like the modern world. And it's just so interesting. It has so many twists and turns at the end. Like, a lot of it was kind of like cozy, like it's the two of them learning each other. It's him like figuring out what the modern world is like, we're figuring out what his past is like. But then at the end, like, you learn so much, and it's so cool. And like, I just loved all the build up and everything. So yeah, that's my like poor way of telling you that you need to read the book, because I don't want to spoil anything. I need you to like feel the same like that I did, because I want to talk about it. So please read. And so that's my number 5 of the year. Number 4 is Daydream by Hannah Grace. I voted for this for the top romance of the year, and I know that it might not be like the best and most well-written book on this list, but as for like what really resonated with me and what connected with me, like, this was just so amazing. It's like an eldest daughter who just like does so many things for other people and doesn't really expect anything in return. And it's like, and the guy is just like does so many acts of service for her, and she's just like so shocked at someone taking care of her. And it's just like, it's my perfect romance. I'm like, she is me, I am her, and I need my Henry. And I just like, I really loved it. And she just like, her, not even the romance, but her journey into finding friends and finding a friend group. Like, I literally like sobbed at the end of it, because I'm like, this is just like, it's just so sweet. And I know people say it's like longer than it needs to be, but honestly, I could have read more. Like, I could just sit and read about her finding friends and her like falling in love with him. It was amazing. Had to be number 4 of the year. Okay. And then right above that is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This was, again, unexpected slay, because I read Better Than the Movies, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't really into YA, but it wasn't my favorite, and I honestly didn't get into Lynn Painter's books until a little later after that, so I wasn't sure if the sequel would be really something that was like super up my alley. It was so cute. I love second chance romances. So he like broke up with her because he was going through a really tough time, and so now he's trying to win her back, and they're at UCLA together. I love the college campus as a setting. It was really fun and super nostalgic for me. Just like, I mean, it hasn't been that long ago, but it feels like ages since I've been on a college campus, like going to parties, and she's like the photographer for the sports team and he plays baseball, and it's just very good vibes overall. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I like finished this so quickly, and yeah, I love Liz and Wes. They're so perfect, and she's like changed, and he just like is shook at like the fact that she's not exactly the same as she was in high school, but he like still likes her. It's so good. So I very much enjoyed that. Next was If We Were Villains. I literally picked this up. I think I saw like a TikTok on this, and then I saw it in the bookstore, and it just has such a cool cover, and I love the red sprayed edges. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. It like sucked me in so fast. I like will tell anyone. When I was reading this, I was telling anyone who would listen about it, because it was just so cool, and I loved it's like Shakespeare-esque. It's like mystery thriller type, like dark academia, all of the good vibes, and it's so well written, and I love the ending to it. Yeah, I've explained this like 10 times, so I'll give a very short synopsis. I'm like, am I even capable of doing that? But it's basically, it's on a group of theater kids who are in this like very rigorous conservatory, and one of them dies. So it follows the present day of the person who took the fall for it, finally confessing to the detective after they get out of jail, and then it goes to the current, or to the past of what like really happened, and it walks you through before and after, and it's so interesting, and it's such a cool concept. So definitely had to put that as number 2. And then number 1 is The Hemlock Queen by Hannah Whitten, and I think I put this, I think I talked about how much I was enjoying this, but I think this is really what like got me into fantasy, because I read before this, like it was mainly romance, and then I think I've definitely had a switch where I've been reading not as much romance and more like fantasy esque books, and I think it's because of this, and this book just reminded me of like, that is like why I first started reading, like that's what I always read growing up. I always loved fantasy, and it just reminded me so much of Throne of Glass, like, and I just loved it. And it's a sequel too, which I've talked about how sequels are hard and I don't always enjoy them, but I enjoyed it better than the first. I love the love triangle in it. It reminds me of Cole, Dorian, and Selena. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so cool. I really like the world, and I'm like excited for the next book. So I definitely, yeah, I had to put that as number 1, simply because I feel like it got me out of like a pretty like decent reading slump, and yeah, I think about it all the time. I'm like so excited to get back into the world when the 3rd one releases. So yeah, that is my top 20 books of the year. I also want to go through and do like my favorites for each month and stuff like that. So this will not be the end of me discussing what I've read this year, because I read 100 books. I'm gonna talk about them, because that is originally why I started this channel. I just love to yap about all of the books I've read. Unfortunately, I have a poor memory, so I can't always yap about them the way that I want to. So here we are. Okay, that's all I have to say for now. Hey guys, so today we have a crumbl haul coming at you. This is our beautiful cookies we got. We got the hot chocolate, the raspberry cheesecake, snickerdoodle cupcake, eggnog tres leches, and what was the, oh, cinnamon square. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Emil.
Say more.
Cookie enjoyer. I would say my favorite is chocolate chip. Like chocolate, like macadamia is pretty good.
I agree.
Partial to that.
I do like that.
Not like an oatmeal raisin fan.
No. Actually, hot take, I do enjoy an oatmeal raisin.
Not a fan.
I do like an oatmeal raisin.
Like brownies.
I do like brownies.
Brownie enjoyer.
Okay. We are going to start with the hot chocolate today. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty chocolatey.
Yeah.
It tastes like hot chocolate though.
Yeah. It's a little one note, but like it's
It is one note. The only flavor is chocolate. It's like good.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it though.
I give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe an 8 microwave.
This is supposed to be a chilled cookie though.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind then.
I mean, valid though. It could be better.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I give it like a 5.
She's a hater of chocolate though.
Yeah.
This is a snickerdoodle cupcake.
I think I'm gonna like this.
Okay.
Cheers. Get in the frame. This fucks.
This is really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that level of moisture.
Yeah.
It was needed.
It was. This is good.
The frosting is just like fire on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
And
is
the cookie itself is good.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like snickerdoodles are okay, but I really like this one.
Mm-hmm. 9 out of 10.
I agree.
I'll go 8.7.
Mm-hmm.
7 plus to me.
Okay, now we have to cut into the trays.
I
Which are
usually
just
like
so
the
hard.
trays.
You do like the trays.
So I was inclined to participate this week.
I know. We have a new cast of characters. Also, if you can't tell, they're related. But I
Okay.
feel like you can tell.
It's my brother.
Okay, I feel like best way to do this is do you want to cut it up or just grab a spoon?
Let's just grab a spoon.
Okay. Cheesecake?
Is this a cookie or is this just a cheesecake?
Just a cheesecake.
This looks like just a cheesecake. I thought it was a cheesecake cookie, but I'm not seeing a base to it. I mean, it's a cheesecake. It's not a particularly good one.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I don't know why they tap into the cheesecake.
I
so
like
well.
cheesecakes a lot too, but this
Yeah.
is very mediocre.
Yeah, plus I'd want a cheesecake cookie.
Yeah.
Crumbl
I know. I thought this was gonna be a cheesecake cookie. I think there's a cookie at the bottom, and we just didn't like go
Dig
hard
in.
enough. But still, the cheesecake mediocre.
Yeah. It's a little tart.
Yeah.
I give it like a 7.5.
I give like a 6.
Like a 6.7.
Okay.
Disappointing. I thought that was gonna be my favorite.
Yeah.
Nice a harsh rater.
She is! I love your finding this out. We did a Trader Joe's taste test. She was like, yeah, don't like that. Don't eat that. No.
Fair enough.
But when she likes something, she's
I
all
love
in.
it.
Like her
It's true.
tomatoes and gummies.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
Some spoons in.
Okay, yeah, this
Yeah.
is cinnamon square. I'm like, is this gonna be cinnamon toast? Yes. Second bite.
Any flavor on the first one.
Loki, I was like, why is she going in again?
That's bland as fuck.
It's a subtle taste.
What even is that?
It's like
And I
sweet.
don't hate it at all.
This is actually her perfect dessert. No flavor.
This is gas.
You can keep that one.
No, I like that. I'm gonna defend that one. It's just a good classic dish. Not everything needs like a sprinkle of pumpkin spice on top of it.
I agree. Wait, this is
I
nice.
just think it's a little dry. And yeah, it's
Fair
just
enough. It's a bit flaky there.
yeah, it's just not the most well-made dessert, I'd say. I'd give it like a 7.
I'm giving it an 8.
I give it like a solid 7.5.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'm excited about this one. This kind of looks gas.
I like the last one of those that they did.
Yeah, the last one they did was really good.
It's usually moist.
I know, that's why I'm excited.
Already better fork feel here.
Fire.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I'm a enjoyer. A little strong on the cinnamon taste, but I'll live.
I feel like it's more eggnoggy.
What's with the cream at the bottom?
It's supposed to be like tiramisu, like.
Yeah, I was about to say it's creamy at the bottom, but I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I think they definitely did it on purpose.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
9.
I give it like an 8.5.
You're like an 8.
Period.
Nice.
Pretty decent collection. We all found something we enjoyed, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a good one for me.
It's a good variety.
Yeah.
Good week at Crumbl. Thanks for tuning in.